Today, we will be reacting to I Stole Mr. Beast's DNA to Make Cheese. I am extremely curious, so let's go.
At the Sidemen charity football match, I did something that none of you noticed. Not that. Definitely not that. But this.
I do this now.
This is me with a swab, and I'm about to try and steal some DNA in front of 64,000 people.
Look at all these people out here.
So I can make cheese.
Just because you've got good bacteria, it doesn't mean to say you're going to make nice cheese.
My targets would be Mr. Beast.
That was insane.
Wait, this is disgusting.
KSI.
I can see John Cena.
But would they realise what I was doing and why I was doing it?
Sick, twisted individual.
Well, to answer that second question, let's rewind to 3 days before the match.
He knows I'm here.
Oh god.
Now, although I might look at it, I'm not totally crazy. This has been done before. They got bacteria from hands and armpits of people, put it in milk, and then turn that milk into cheese. So this is possible. This is doable. I'm playing in the Sidemen charity match in a couple of days' time. Mr. Beast and also KSI are going to be there. So I'm thinking I make cheeses out of both of them, and I decide who makes the yummier cheese.
Oh,
But the big question here.
Are you gonna eat it? Max, no.
Why? I have the
Max,
answer for
no.
you. These are the two creators with the biggest brands in the world. You've got Prime,
I guess so.
and you've got Feastables.
These nuts taste so good.
Those two brands are representations of Mr. Beast and KSI. They're YouTuber products, but they are not products of the YouTuber. There has never been a product made from the YouTuber until now, and I'm gonna make that with cheese.
Okay, I need to
I'm gonna
prepare.
make cheese out of Mr. Beast and KSI, and so I think I'm gonna need swabs.
Luckily, you can get hold of anything online these days. So I went and bought some things I remembered from science class, some sterile swabs and Petri dishes, and made my way to the game.
Right, it's the morning of the big day. I'm playing in a football match today in front of 60,000 people, but also I have to try and steal Mr. Beast and KSI's DNA.
In order for this to work, I'd have to obtain a sample of each of the target's sweat at some point during the day. The more the sweat, the more bacteria. So I'd need them to be proper moist. Once I'd got their
Proper
bacteria,
moist.
I'd have to immediately transfer the swab to an agar-filled Petri dish, which would keep the samples alive long enough to hopefully be made into cheese.
I just need to find the opportunity to get the bacteria, which is going to
How
be
was he
so
gonna do
hard.
this?
As I joined the rest of the players downstairs, I was hoping to make first contact with my cheesy duo, but rather worryingly, they didn't seem to be at the team hotel.
Good to see you. How you doing? Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
And instead, I only seemed to be able to find people who, frankly, I had no interest in making cheese from whatsoever.
Thanks.
After a family bonding meal, I finally got onto the bus to the stadium and I spotted my first target.
Jimmy is between 260. Got the Q-tip here. I mean, I could go for it now, but I don't think I will.
There it is.
Old Beastie Boy was a little
This
too
is
dry
wild.
currently for me to wangle a Q-tip round his neck, but as neither KSI nor Mr. Beast were playing on my team, I was keen to make contact as soon as possible. Whilst I love a boisterous locker room full of lads as much as the next man, I had a mission to complete.
Gonna scope it out, say hello.
At this point, I was hoping just to say hello to Jimmy and JJ,
Here they are.
but they were nowhere to be seen.
I mean, has anyone told you that those shoes really suit you?
God,
They
no.
look great.
But then, minutes before the game was due to start, Ginny appeared.
What's it like out there?
It's the perfect time we just want to run out there and
There's
film
no
some
way.
photos
There's no
out
way.
Amazing. Got first contact with Jimmy. He knows who I am, he knows I'm here.
With first contact made, it was time to turn my attention to the match, and as it started, so did the waiting game. With both of my ingredient factories now in sight, I just had to find the right moment when they were nice and sweaty. So I tucked 2 sterile swabs in my sock
Oh
and
my
hit
God.
the pitch.
And they're off.
But I had a couple of other things to take care of first.
Jeez!
The swabs are in my sock.
Free kick for the sidemen.
Oh, and one more thing. Despite my best efforts in carrying the YouTube All-Stars, we couldn't quite match the prowess of Sidemen FC. And with that, the game was over. And I'd been so distracted during the match, I now had mere moments to complete my mission.
Oh shit, so we didn't do it during the game.
Game just ended.
So
So I grabbed my swabs and I just went for it.
Oh, did well played, mate. It was good. You did good. Yeah, thanks, man.
Swab number 1 complete. Now on to JJ. Swab number 2 in the bag.
I don't even need to be in goal. And I can't score.
My little escapade even got caught on the live stream and no one noticed.
Charity, and that's what we've done.
With the samples gathered, the winning trophy celebration was my perfect smokescreen. All I had to do was safely apply the bacteria from my swabs to the Petri dishes.
I rate this so much. It is really gross.
A few days
but
later, and safely back
rate
at HQ, it was time to check on the goods.
This is what the boys look like in bacteria form. Over here, we've got JJ. That's what grows on your skin after playing 90 minutes of football. You think KSI's got some bad bacteria?
Bro.
Look at Jimmy. I don't know whether that's gross or really cool.
Definitely gross. I don't know what I was thinking. But now that I had some live and kicking bacteria, it was time to create the first ever real YouTuber product.
Let's go create some cheese, baby.
And to do that, I'd be heading to Fen Farm Dairy to meet up with
I
Johnny,
can never
our
unsee
helpful
that.
cheesemaker friend.
The most important thing is that those Petri dishes do not get opened, because then it genuinely becomes a biohazard. I don't want my car stinking of Mr. Beast, thank you very much.
Johnny, hello, nice to meet you. How you doing?
Hello.
Johnny is the owner of this cheese factory, and he'd be helping me transform our sweaty swabs into actual cheese.
Cheese entrance. Authorised personnel only, and apparently today that's me.
Before we could start this process, he had to check the quality of the bacteria.
This is KSI. This is Mr. Beast. What are your first thoughts by just looking at these bits of bacteria?
I would say Mr. Beast has not washed quite as well as KSI.
And then finally, we started the cheese making process.
First things first, so the bacteria of both Mr. Beast and KSI is mixed through the milk thoroughly. Have you got any sort of predictions what the flavour of KSI will be, or?
Oh man, that is so
Here
good.
it comes. The next step is that we're going to send a sample from this milk.
Is it like weird of me? Like if this was me and if I was JJ, I'd be kind of gassed. Like I would actually be like, I'm cleaner than Mr. Beast. Fuck you all.
Tomorrow, off to an accredited lab in the UK, which will test for bad bacteria.
So it's safe.
Absolutely, yeah.
So soon we will have cheese. A safe cheese.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, as excited as Johnny was to help me out, he'd be making this human cheese off-site, away from his normal produce, just in case there was a mix-up and someone got a nasty surprise at Tesco.
The milk comes through that pipe. It then goes through this pasteuriser. This is where we would normally add our cultures. So that is what makes it into lactic.
As I was being filled to the brim with cheese facts, Johnny then said something really interesting.
Just because I say they're good bacteria doesn't mean to say they won't taste disgusting.
Which didn't bode well for the all-important taste test. But after helping myself to some freebies that I assumed were up for grabs, I'd only have to wait 2 weeks to see the results.
It's fungi, so...
Stop.
I have a parcel.
Oh
I
god.
think I know what it is.
Is it the cheese?
Cheeses have arrived. Oh.
Oh no, stop.
First YouTuber product.
Please
made
stop.
out of a YouTuber. Now it's time to see who wins.
Presenting the first of our YouTuber cheeses, made from a rare South Carolinian bacteria, cheese nuts. And being judged alongside it in the battle of the cheeses, a rather punchy number, Side Manchego.
Oh my
And
god.
deciding once and for all who would be the victor is legendary food critic Matthew
That's
Fort.
so good.
I actually think this beef is perfectly flavoured for this particular dish.
In front of you, Mr. Fort, are 2 cheeses made with the bacteria from 2 human beings. Now, have you had...
I knew there was a trick here somewhere.
This one is called cheese
This poor
nuts.
guy, this poor
It's a sort of,
guy.
looks like sort of mousse-like texture.
Cool.
I don't know whether that's the Cuban or the milk.
This one is called side manchego.
If I compare the two,
Side manchego.
the texture of this cheese seems to be slightly different. This seems to be slightly creamier. That one seems to be more moussey.
And now on to the all-important taste test.
Oh,
Back
bless
shot.
him.
Bitterness at the back of the tongue.
But does it taste nice?
A cheese of character, I would call that. It's got a real tang to it. Very easy to eat. I think probably this is the one I would put on a biscuit.
Are they remarkably different in their flavour profiles?
Yeah, I think that they. This is a more sophisticated, it's a more integrated cheese. This is a bit sharper, a bit rawer, I would have said.
So, Matthew, you've had your cheese, you've had them with your biscuits. If you were to choose one of
He's
the
choosing
two
Mr.
cheeses,
Beast.
which one would you choose?
It's a tricky one, but if I was really pushed to it, this chappy here,
Oh!
Side manchego.
side manchego,
Side
as you say.
With KSI the victor in the
Let's
first
go,
ever
JJ.
YouTuber Battle of the Cheeses, I thought it was time to come clean to
That's
him
so
and lay my
jokes.
curds on the table.
Oh, that's so
Hello,
funny.
mate.
What a great idea.
Individual. What is going on? Has he done this?
Have you seen the clip when I did it as well?
So casual.
You had no idea. I've got it right here. This is your cheese. I gave it to a food critic to see which cheese he preferred. And you won. You beat Jimmy.
Oh, I tasted nicer. Maybe because I'm more healthy.
Wow.
What are you gonna do with the rest of it?
Mate, put it in the bin. I'm putting it straight in the bin. This is going nowhere.
I love your videos, man. Oh, you've done it again, bro.
Done it again.
What a great
Oh,
idea.
JJ's a fan.
That was amazing. That was like, who thinks to do that? Like, he has got, I would say on YouTube, he's got like one of the most unique concepts. And he executes them so well, like super snappy, like, I don't know, he's a very good video maker.